Hello, viewers. Today is Thursday, November 14th, 2024. I'm here to share my thoughts and opinions on the agenda of the incoming Donald Trump's presidency, the second term for Donald Trump, after a gap of course, 4 years. So yesterday I was discussing about his signature policy in terms of the tariffs. And today I would like to look at his another main initiative that he talked about throughout the campaign, and that is about immigration, especially about illegal immigration. So throughout the campaign, Donald Trump was saying that he wants to get tough on illegal immigration and he wants to close the border. And he also wanted to deport all the undocumented workers who are currently inside the country. He wanted to deport them back to their original countries from where they came from. So that is from an illegal immigration perspective. But he also talked about from time to time about legal immigration. More specifically, he talked about how he would like to get rid of the birthright citizenship. So that's another thing that he talked about. So first, let me share my views on the illegal immigration and his plans to deport several million people who are already in the country. So this has been one of his main campaign theme, and of course, it paid very rich dividends for him in Arizona and Nevada as well, I believe. And overall, throughout the country, it looked as though that people were agreeing with the Trump philosophy of deporting illegal immigrants. So now the big question is, how do you implement such a plan? And that is where the real issue, real questions arise, because how do you really find out how many undocumented people are there in the country, number one, and then how are you going to identify each one of them? And even if you do identify each one of them, what is the process that's going to be employed to deport them to their original countries? Will there be a due process? Will there be some kind of a hearing, an immigration hearing or something like that? And how are they going to do that? So those are unanswered questions. And then there is another more important thing is about children who had come here and who have studied here, whose parents were actually undocumented. Are you going to send the entire family back to their respective countries, or how is that going to work? So these are more important questions that the incoming administration needs to answer before they come up with a policy. But at the same time, it also requires time, effort, and resources translating into money. So I'm sure that now that they have got all the three branches of government, presidency, House, and the Senate, they will be able to get the money required to basically implement this particular immigration bill or immigration deportation of several million illegal immigrants to their respective countries. They will be able to get the money for that. But the real issue is, how are you going to do it in a procedural manner? Are you going to have some kind of a detention camps? And those kind of questions are the ones that a lot of the policy experts are asking these days. But nevertheless, everybody in the country knew that Trump was going to do something to this effect. And it is not a surprise if he comes into office on January 20th and tries to do this as one of his first initiatives. So this is why I always say that we have to respect the democratic process, and elections have consequences. And he has won this election, and he should be given the leeway to do what he said he was planning to do. He will do once he gets elected. So that is from an illegal immigration perspective. As I mentioned, there are several unanswered questions, but we will wait and see exactly how this policy is going to be framed and how it is going to be implemented once he gets into the office. Then the other immigration issue that I would like to touch on today is about the legal immigrants, or people who have green card, or even people who have come on a visa. The United States, based on the 14th Amendment, gives citizenship to anyone who is born in the United States. That's the birthright citizenship. So the 14th Amendment makes sure that whether you are on a visitor's visa or on a work permit, or even if you are an undocumented worker, or if you are illegal in this country, if the child is born in the United States, you will get the citizenship based on that 14th Amendment. And now during the campaign, Trump touched on this not very regularly, but from time to time he was talking about how when he gets elected, he would try to get rid of this 14th Amendment, or he said he will not allow the birthright citizenship to moving forward. But he did not talk about it extensively, but sometimes he said both the parents should be US citizens. And then at some other times, he said that if one of the parents are US citizens, then he doesn't mind giving the citizenship to the child. So nevertheless, I would like to inform you guys that this is not easy, in the sense that a president on his own cannot say that he can get rid of the 14th Amendment. So this has to be done through another amendment to the Constitution. So the way the birthright citizenship is acquired by these people who are born in the United States, even if their parents are not citizens, is due to that 14th Amendment, right? So to get rid of the 14th Amendment, you have to amend that to say that it is we will no longer accept the 14th Amendment, and you have to come up with a different amendment and formulate a different policy for citizenship. So now I want to talk about why this is going to be very difficult, because it's very difficult to amend the US Constitution. So how do you amend a US Constitution? So the amendment for a US Constitution process is derived from the Article 5 of the Constitution. And in that, it says that it's a two-step process. First, you have to propose an amendment to the Constitution, and then it has to be ratified. So on the proposal stage, it can happen in two different ways. 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate can propose a constitutional amendment, so that it gets finalized as a proposal. So the proposal is formalized only if 2/3 of Congress and 2/3 of the Senate approve. But or 2/3 of the state can call what is called a constitutional convention, and they can propose a constitutional amendment. So there are two ways you can propose it. One is through the federal government, in terms of the House and the Senate. Both should pass by 2/3 majority the proposal. Then it will be accepted as a proposal. Otherwise, 2/3 of the state should call for a constitutional convention, and they can propose a constitutional amendment that way. So that's only the first step. Then once it is proposed, in the sense that either one of these two ways, then 3/4 of the states needs to ratify that. So it is a ratification process that's going to be very, very difficult, because 3/4 of the states need to ratify. That means 38 out of the 50 states need to ratify that proposed amendment. And that is why it's very, very difficult to actually amend the US Constitution. And that is why I feel that it's very difficult for the incoming Trump administration to do anything on the birthright citizenship, even if they want to. So that's what I would like to talk about in terms of the legal immigration. So people who are a little bit concerned about this birthright citizenship, they can be rest assured that this process is not going to happen within the next 4 years or 8 years or even 12 years, because amending a US Constitution is very, very difficult. So those are the two items that I wanted to discuss today. One about the illegal immigration, another one about the birthright citizenship. And on the first one, it looks like that Trump will do some form of deportation process for undocumented people in this country. But on the second front, regarding the birthright citizenship, I do feel that there is no way that it would a constitutional amendment like that would get passed in this current climate. That's it for me today. I'll come back to you with a different episode tomorrow. Till then, take care.